mean, I'm just trying to keep moving on the path and getting more insights and trying to stay in touch with, not the body, but it's not easy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, life is like a really full-on experience, isn't it? Like if we just take out waking up and non-duality from the picture, just being alive is really full-on. Like what we have to keep maintaining these bodies, and in order to maintain these bodies, the game is that we have to consume things, and then we've got all this social ritual on top of that. Like we can't consume our neighbor. We have to only consume animals and vegetables. This is a part joke. I'm not saying or suggesting that anyone should consume their neighbors. But I mean, like, we have all these social conditions on it. We have to wear these clothes. We have to have money to buy these clothes. We have to have a job. We have to have employment contract. We have to have contract. We have to have lawyers. We have to have money to exchange. Like, it's so complex. And our society, unfortunately and fortunately, is getting more and more complex. And that's good and bad. Like, it's amazing that we have contracts and workers' rights and all these things, but it's also a pain in the ass, all the freaking paperwork we have to do. Like, creativity is hindered by all the paperwork as well. I can see that. But hopefully in the future with more AIs and technology, things will begin to get easier. And also I think that we will begin to have more of a supported society, so people will get a wage for just being alive, which would be really amazing. But yeah, it is a complex game. And then not on top of that, we've got relationships, we've got social games that we have to keep up with, ways of being. You can't, like, one thing that irritates me a little bit as a lady in this society is they don't have enough toilets for us. As a woman, you have to go to the toilet a lot more than a man. So it's always, man maybe doesn't realize this, so it's always a problem. If you go to a social event, there's always women queuing for the toilet because we have to go more and we take longer. And like everywhere you go, there's never a toilet. Like, I would much prefer, maybe in America it's different, but like that we erected toilets for women and more in our society. We have to deal with the stuff coming out of our body as well. There's so much to think about. We have to have drains and sewage so it takes away the smell. I don't know if you've ever been in a country. Yeah.
Funny story about that. So me and my ex-wife, we went to a gay rodeo.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's LBGQ, however you say it. It was a rodeo, like like horses and cattle and all that kind of stuff.
Right, where you ride them or something.
But it was for gay participants. So then there was this long line in the men's restroom and a short line in the women's. And my ex was she loved it. She's like, oh.
This is already ever coming here.
It was hilarious. She's like, justice.
Well, what I do every day, and maybe I could get fined for this, is I pee out in the forest. But the problem we've got at the moment, this is why life is so complex, is that in mainland Europe, we have like many ticks. In England, we don't have ticks, so we don't really have the conditioning of ticks. So if you go off road to go for a pee in the bushes, because you can't go on the pathway in the forest, you go into the forest, go for a pee, you end up with ticks all over you.
Oh no.
Which isn't so wonderful. So it's life. There is always complications in life. And really the only freedom is, you can sort out your psychology. That's always advisable to everybody, to sort out your psychology. It's like mowing your lawn. It's a very socially appropriate thing to do. But the only real freedom is this moment, is, when you just surrender into this moment, and then the past and the future disappear. And that's not an avoidance. We're not talking about spiritual bypassing. We're like really like zooming into this moment, and then there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening, and yet it's all happening for nobody. It's just love expressing itself.
I love that term, spiritual bypassing.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in that.
Yeah, totally. And it's really confusing as to when that's happening or when that's not.
Right? Yeah, it's like we have blind spots.
Yeah, and I'm sure I even spiritual bypass now. Like, I'm sure that there's times where I should be dealing with an emotion and I'm blissing out in what is.
Yeah. Yeah. Emotions, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this thing came to me this morning. It's like, salmon don't complain about swimming upstream.
Never.
You know?
I mean, it would be quite funny if they did, you know, all these salmon, they're like, oh, bloody stream again, here it's coming. You can imagine them all like these little thought puddles coming up, but no, they don't.
Right? Yeah. You know, one of the things so I listen to Eckhart Tolle sometimes, and what I love about he does the audio for his books, and he talks about a lot of it isn't really what's being said, but it's the energy that he's projecting.
Yeah. I love it when the actual writer of the book reads it, you know, the spiritual teacher, because it is about the energy. Some books, you know, from spiritual teachers I want to listen to, but the energy of the reader just hurts.
Yeah, right. Because
Yeah.
you know, I remember I would listen to his CDs, and I'd be driving, and it was like it's similar. If I talk with you, it's very similar. It's the energy. It's like a cleansing.
But Eckhart Tolle had a massive influence on me. I don't know if I've got him on my website. I forget to put people. But yeah, I started listening to Eckhart Tolle very quickly after he released his first book, and I think it was in 2000. And I managed to get hold of his cassettes or CDs, and I would listen obsessively to it. And I used to go to the Eckhart Tolle meetup group in London, and that's actually how, and we'd listen to videos of Eckhart Tolle, and that's actually how I then got introduced to Tony Parsons through somebody at that group. But I loved it. Like, I loved listening to Eckhart Tolle. Like, I would just totally bliss out and vibrate in what he was speaking about. It was like he was calling me home, like a bird song. Yeah. And actually, prior to that big awakening that I had in Bali, I had like some sort of MP3 player. I forget the technology it was. And on this MP3 player, it might have been Roger's old MP3 player, I forget. I had some music, and then I had like 4 talks from Eckhart Tolle and maybe 2 talks from Adyashanti. And I was staying in Bali for a whole month, and I didn't have phone, I didn't have TV, I didn't have internet. I just had this MP3 player with these talks and this bit of music on, and I didn't really have anyone to socialize with. I was just there, and I just wasn't interested in anything but meditating and listening to music or listening to his talks. And it's like, you know, I'd heard those talks 1,000 times before, and I knew exactly what he was going to say, but it wasn't about that. It was about this energy that was like calling beyond the person.
Like holding you home. I've never heard that phrase. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And that's truly the expression of non-duality to me. I mean, other people will say it different ways. It's this resonance with the speaker. And this is why you can't really have a teacher, true teacher or a false teacher, because when this is really happening, like, you'll be called to that which is calling you home. Like, because it's like, you can't really explain it. It's not, sometimes you can get entertained by the intellect, but that will pass after a period. But it's like your heart is singing with something. It's like listening to a piece of music that you love.
Right. Yeah. And it's like you see people light up when they're in their essence.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful, Tentis.
We hope for those jobs where we just float around because we're so like happy and just so peaceful, and you know, or relationships or whatever.
Yeah, but it's really about that internal sense of being coming forward. You know, anything that we hope for in time just passes. It's imagery, it's ideas, it just passes. Like, you enjoy a job, that you float in a job. Like, who floats in a job? It's all imagery of the self, of this illusory self. And really, in every moment, you know, when you're there in pain doing a job, or you're enjoying it or not, there is nothing and no one.
I don't know. It's really nice to see you and really nice to talk to you. How far in advance are you with your bookings?
Oh, I'm just so far behind, Dennis, that I've
Yeah.
just kind of like oh, advanced. Like I'm not doing one-to-one sessions anymore, but I've got like a big waiting list and then people that I speak to regularly. And yeah, I'm just behind. So your question, because like in previously when you booked, you had to book 3 months in advance to get a session with me. Now you can't even book.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well, that's good for you.
yeah. I really don't perceive those types of things. Like it's just what's happening, but I can understand how it could be seen like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like so. I got a job offer this year, and they're gonna pay me a lot more than I've ever been paid, like way beyond. You
Yeah.
know, and it's like the universe just does whatever the universe does, right?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, it's really nice to see you.
Yeah, lovely to speak with you. I can't see you, Dennis, but it's lovely to speak with you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Yeah, sending you lots of love. Really enjoyed
Thanks.
speaking with you.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Bye.